Good afternoon. Welcome to Lunchtime Live with Sharon Galluzzo. It is December already. My goodness, the year is flying by and we are having a cold, rainy day. It feels like winter here now. In a few days it might warm up again because North Carolina weather is very funny. But today we're in sweaters and boots and snuggled up and trying to stay warm in the rainy weather. I hope that the weather is nice by you, or you're enjoying it if it's cold and rainy, and that you can stay snuggled up. I'm just going to chat for a minute as we're waiting for people to come on. It is sending out the notification that we are live. If you're already here, please let me know, like and comment. Let me know that you're here and I will be happy to give you a shout out. If you have any questions or comments, I always like to include you in the conversation. It's more fun whenever we have a little bit of back and forth. So I certainly encourage you to jump on and let us know that you're here, and if you have any questions or comments. Sometimes there's a little bit of a delay because you write it and then it has to populate and pop up, and then I read it and then I can say something back to you, but still do. And if you're watching this as a recorded message, still leave comments and questions and stuff down below, because I will jump back on and answer any questions or comments. And I'm sure that you know, but Facebook Live is really a cool tool because not only do I get to talk to you live, but it records the conversations and leaves them as videos in my news feed. So they're all going to be there. We're also in the process of taking some of them off and putting them on YouTube. So if you, right now I only have one up there. So if you go looking for it, you're only going to find one. But it's definitely something that we are working towards getting them into another forum. So today's topic is one that came up for me this week, and I will share the story with you, and then we'll talk about about what happens. The topic is when support doesn't come from expected sources. And what I mean by that is whenever you start a new job, you have a new project, you have a business idea, you want to write a book, you are doing something new, and you have either the idea for it or you've actually executed it. Our expectation is that the people that are closest to us, our friends, our family, our mentors, our business associates, they're going to be excited for us and they're going to support us and they're going to be in our corner and be our cheerleaders. That's an expectation that we have because we're part of a community. We are all together. And so we want to have the support of those people that are closest to us, that mean the most to us. Unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't happen that way. And what I wanted to talk about today is when you have those people that are closest to you and you really expect them to be in your corner and have your back and be like your loudest cheerleaders, and they either say nothing, or they say something that's negative, or they discourage you, or they say something that halts or slows your momentum towards your ultimate goal. I think that just about everyone experiences that, and I wanted to address that today. So the first group of people that are not, I'm sorry, I'm looking for my computer because I wrote down the quote. I'm just going to have to paraphrase it when I get there. The first thing that I wanted to address is the haters, as they like to be called now. So this is just somebody who doesn't like you, or that is very, they're looking for you to fail. They're jealous of you. They're the kind of people that you really don't necessarily expect to be in your corner. And, this somebody is going to dislike everything that somebody does, or what is it? You can please, you can't please all of the people all of the time. You can please some of the people some of the time. So, you know, when you're looking to be that kind of person where you do something and everybody is totally on your team and, you know, they're rah-rah behind you, and then you get from left field, you get this negativity. It can bring you down. It can stop you. It can make you not move forward. So anybody that falls into the haters category, that would be their, you know, when you step back and you look at them, they just are very negative people. They don't like you. They want you to fail. They're not the people that are going to be there to support you. If you have anybody that you put in that sort of haters category, I want you to give them absolutely zero of your energy. This is a very easy thing to say and a very difficult thing to execute, because when somebody is saying something nasty about you, when they're saying something negative about your work or your ideas or your baby, it's very personal. It's very, very hard not to take those slings and arrows personally. But I want you to try. I want you to take those haters, that group of people that are looking for you to fall because that's their thing. I want you to give them zero energy from you. They do not count. They don't factor into anything, because no matter what you do, somebody's not going to be happy about it. Somebody is not going to like it. So go ahead and count on having somebody not like what you're doing or not like what you're saying, and let them be. Sometimes haters are, you know, that's the way they are. There are people who spend their lives on the internet trolling other people's sites and lives and saying mean things to them for, I don't even know why. Maybe they enjoy it. That's their, you know, I don't know, but that's their thing. And so whenever something happens like that for me, I like to remember something that I heard a long time ago, and that was hurting people hurt other people. So whenever somebody's doing something that is hurtful to me, I try to take a step back and say, you know, what's going on for them in their lives that is causing them to try to lash out and hurt other people. And I try to have a little bit of patience and sympathy and empathy for them, and give them that space to just be ugly if they need to be. So that's the first group of people, and that's, you know, not necessarily people you were going to expect to support you anyway. But I did want to address that, and I did want to you know, encourage you, for those people that are out there and just looking for something to be wrong. Let them do what they're going to do, and don't take that in. Don't take that energy and that negativity personally, and don't use it for anything other than, oh, okay, that person just needed to say that. I have a joke about my housekeeping. I think I've talked about it before. It's one of those tasks that is never done. And I used to make myself absolutely crazy if people were coming over to my house and trying to make sure that everything was absolutely perfect. Every nook and cranny was cleaned and everything was immaculate. And, you know, I never really quite got there. And then one day I decided, well, you know what? If there are people coming over to my house who are looking for something to be wrong, it is my responsibility as the hostess to allow them to find something. So, you know, I'm not that kind of person. I'm just I'm very laid back. So if there's somebody coming that's looking for something to be wrong, it's okay if they find it. That will give them a sense of accomplishment. The dog's sitting here with me, so hold on. Let me just open the door and let him out. Are you going to go out? Go. Go. Sorry. I knew he would bark if he was in here, but I was trying. I was really hoping that he'd make it. So that was Darth Vader, our dog. He just wanted to be part of the video today. So haters, Just put them to the side. They're doing what they have to do. Just let them do what they have to do. Do not internalize. Don't take that in. Still believe in you and what you have to do. So now, another group of people that we expect to be there for us, to have our back, to be supportive of us, the way we are supportive of them. I am one of those people that if you're doing something, I want to support you and I want to be there to help you and to encourage you. And I'm a Pollyanna. Everybody in the pool, let's everybody help everybody. And I have to remember that not everybody is like me. So if you are expecting your colleagues and your mentors to be there to support you and they don't, there could be a lot of reasons for that. One, they might be busy doing things of their own and maybe they just forgot. Two, they could be looking at this accomplishment or this part of your business or this idea as, it's an okay idea. Don't hate it, don't love it, but I'm kind of neutral about it. But, so they really don't have an opinion one way or the other. So we can take their lack of comment as maybe indifference. So we want to be able to allow our colleagues and our mentors to not necessarily jump on the boat with us and be our rah-rah cheerleaders, because for any number of reasons, they might not necessarily be, all about that particular idea. That doesn't mean it's a bad idea. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't go forward with it. Don't take their lack of response that you're expecting to mean anything, because you may be interpreting it in one way and they may mean it another way. They may not be responding to or helping you out or supporting you or giving you what you expected because they have something going on in their personal lives, or they have a project that they're working on that they're, heads down, not looking up for anybody. So you need to give your friends, your colleagues, your mentors, you need to give them that space so that they can join in when and if they're ready. So don't take it personally unless they come to you and they say, this is a bad idea, you shouldn't do this, unless they're giving you feedback that says that they are not on board with you. Don't assume that they're not on board with you just because they're not jumping up and down next to you. You need to allow them to be the support that they can be when they can be. Now, sometimes you do run into a situation where you have somebody that is supportive of you and they've been supportive of you a long time, and then all of a sudden they're not supportive of you anymore. And occasionally that might be something that's going on with them in terms of they want you to succeed as long as you don't surpass them. And that's a really hard thing to interpret. So I would never put that out on anyone else. I would rather fall back to them. Maybe they have other things going on in their lives. Maybe they have other things that are important to them at that moment in time. And it's not that they're not supportive of you. It just might not have occurred to them. But I just want you to remember that whenever those people if you know that that's kind of where they're coming from, that they don't want to be eclipsed by you, remember, again, it goes back to what we were saying earlier. There's something going on for them, with them, internally, that has probably absolutely nothing to do with you, and they probably don't even know that they're doing it. So don't take that personally either. None of these things we should be taking personally. However, the next group that I'm going to talk about, these might be the people that it's going to be the most difficult to not take personally. Hey, Peter Galluzzo, glad you joined us. And the last group is family and friends. And these are the people that are closest to us. These are the people that we think will be our, our bosom buddies, our cheerleaders. They'll stand there with you, through thick and thin. They'll make every effort to support and be there with you. And these are the people that most often are going to disappoint us, that are going to say something or do something that is really going to affect us in a way that it's just deep, because our relationships with our friends and our family are so deep that anything that they do and say affects us more than the haters or the business colleagues or any other group of people. These are the people that can really deeply affect us. And so I was looking before for my computer, I wrote it out, but in Matthew in the Bible, Jesus actually says something that's very pertinent for this conversation. He says, a prophet is not without honor except in his own village with his own people. And so that's a paraphrase because, again, I forgot to bring it up here. But what that means is you can be the most impressive, cool, successful, wonderful person with the people that you are in your business arena with, your colleagues, your business associates, your customers. You can be a superstar in that arena, but you come back home to your family and they're like, well, you're only okay, and don't get your head, don't fill your head up. You don't want your big head. It won't fit through the door. And they're the people that pull you back down to the ground. They're the people that ground you in a good way, but sometimes they'll ground you in a frustrating and discouraging way. They will pull you to the ground and make you feel like you haven't accomplished what you've accomplished, or that you are on the wrong track, or that you can't do what you've set out to do. And they don't mean to do that to you. This is the problem. They've known you, in the case of your family, probably your entire life or most of your life. They saw you when you were learning how to ride a bicycle. They saw you whenever you were slacking off in high school. They saw you when you were, when mom told you to do chores, and instead of doing chores, you went over to your friend's house. They know all the stuff about you. They see the good stuff and the bad stuff. They know all your little, intricacies and your secrets and all of those kinds of things. So when they're looking at you in a business perspective, when they're looking at you in your, what you're moving forward towards in your business, they see not just that business person, but that snotty little kid that ran around and, stole their, phone out of their room and, broke the cord, or, cut their electric blanket into pieces. That's my big sister. That they know, this is what they know of you. They know all about you. They know every single dimension about you. So just because you have this great idea and you're achieving in this area and you're moving forward in this area and you've set yourself up in this great business, or you have this great business idea, or you've written a book, or you have done a video series, or they see not just that little piece of you, but they see the entire picture. And so they're maybe not as impressed as the rest of the world because they've known you for so long. The other thing is, maybe their quote unquote lack of support, or and these are the people that are going to voice their criticism, their voices of criticism, their feedback to you, which might not feel like the support that you would love to have, is out of love for you. It's because they know you, and they know all of the things about you. They know your shortcomings. They know your challenges. So they're afraid that you're not going to be successful. If you were to step out into this venture and not be successful, then they would feel bad about that. They would feel like they should have done something. They should have stopped you. They should have been a voice of reason. And so they're upfront with their criticism, they're upfront with their concerns and their fears and that kind of stuff with you because they love you, because they want you to be safe and happy and good. And when you go out and start a business, when you go out and do anything, it's a risk. It is risky, and there is a huge chance of failure. And they just don't want you to fail. And so if we can think about the criticism of our loved ones, of our family and our friends, when they come to us and they say things that we perceive as not supportive, when we expect them to be there in our corner and to really be that great foundation that we need to move forward with our dream, and they take out giant sledgehammers and jackhammers and they start chipping away at that foundation, not a little bit but big. They're just like, no, you don't need to be doing this. It's not necessarily because they don't trust you. It's not because they don't love you. It's not because they're jealous of you. It's probably not because of any of those things. It's because they love you and want to protect you. And they may not even know that this is the motivation for what they're doing and what they're saying to you. They may not understand how much it hurts and how deep those wounds are whenever they are saying and doing things to you that are tearing down your dream. So again, I'm suggesting that we change the perspective on what is coming in. When we don't get what we expect, then we can step back and regroup. I firmly believe that almost every conflict that we have in our lives is because of unmet expectations. I expect my sisters and my brothers to be supportive of me when I do something. I expect my mom to have words of encouragement for me. I expect them to be proud of me when I do something. And whenever the response comes back to us, are you really sure about that? I don't know. Can you do that? Are you really prepared for that? What about your family? What about this? What about that? And all of this stuff, then that's an unmet expectation. They came back with something you didn't expect them to do. So then we become hurt and we become jaded and we just don't know what to do. We become lost. We get confused. Should we really be doing it? Are they right? Just take a step back, take a deep breath, and remember that they're not coming at you. They're not coming for you. They're not trying to destroy you. They're coming to you and surrounding you with love. It's just not the love that you expected. I want to share what I think is a very hysterical conversation that I had with my mother. And you have to understand that my mother is a remarkable woman. She raised 5 kids. She was raising kids for 40 years. There's 20 years between me and my oldest brother. And there's 5 of us. And she, I could sit here for an entire Facebook Live and tell you how amazing my mother is. But she also says things sometimes without thinking. And so the other day I was talking to her and she said, I was on the phone with your nephew and he said, hey, how about Sharon has a book on Amazon? And my mom said, yeah, that's really neat. And he said, yeah, she's got lots of smarts. And my mother told me that she told my nephew, yeah, she's got smarts I didn't know about. That just makes me laugh so much because she didn't mean that I'm not smart. Now, I could have taken it that way. I could have been really hurt and really let that pull me down, and I really could have come at that from a place of pain and hurt and anxiety. But it chose to look at it from the perspective of, this is my mother who's known me since I was born. And what she really meant was, when she was a little baby, I probably wouldn't have said she's going to write a book and it's going to be on Amazon someday. First of all, Amazon didn't even exist. But that wasn't necessarily a dream that she had for me. So this is a foreign thing for her, and she's trying to, find her way through through what I'm doing now, because it's not something she ever expected of me. Not because she expects nothing of me, but because that just wasn't in her realm of possibility. And when I look at it from that perspective, and when I look at it from the perspective of this woman loves me beyond words, she is always there for me, but she is my reality check. She's the one who always has the word to say about being cautious and about being circumspect and about making sure that this is what I really want. And so she's always sort of in a mom protective mode whenever she's communicating with me about things that I'm doing. And to be fair, the life that I'm living is nothing like anything she's ever experienced. And I'm involved with so many different things. And she's, from her perspective, she's like, oh, poor Peter and the kids, she's out doing another play, or she's out, doing this, that, or the other thing, and she's not home, and she's not taking care of the family every single day. It's not that I'm not home and I'm not taking care of my family. It's just that from her perspective, she becomes concerned. And so her concern voices itself in a way that I could really take it the wrong way and get hurt. Instead of understanding and stepping back and going, she's coming to me with these comments from a place of love and support, and not because she doesn't believe in me, but because she loves me. So I encourage you, when somebody that you expect to be in your corner, to say those things that are encouraging and that are building you up, that are pushing you forward, when they don't say what you expect them to say, be okay with that, because they're not necessarily coming from a hater perspective. They don't want you to fail. They just don't want you to be hurt. They don't want you to go down a road and find out, oh my gosh, I did the wrong thing. So they're coming from a place of love. That doesn't mean that you should listen to them unless, they're really right, but just take their comments with love and know and understand that they are coming to you with concern for you. Because and especially if they're older, like I have older siblings, and when they say stuff to me, they've been down the road. They've done things that didn't work out. And so they're trying to help and say things that will, prevent you from being hurt. But you know what? Stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something and having it not work is not a horrible thing. It's a way to grow. It's to learn about yourself. And every time that you fall down, get back up. Fall down 7 times, get up 8. Keep moving forward. Keep believing in yourself. And don't be discouraged because the people you expected to say the best things say the worst things. It's not because they don't believe in you. It's not because they don't love you. It's not because they want you to fail. It's just the opposite. So remember that when you expect something and you don't get it, don't necessarily take that personally, because something else completely might be going on for them and they don't even realize that they've hurt you. So I just encourage you, take a breath, take a step back, and view everything that comes towards you with love. Okay, so I promised you an exciting announcement. If you haven't heard, because I did put this on social media, but my book, Legendary Business from Rats to Riches, I printed it out so that you could read it properly. On Thursday, we did the Amazon launch, and we were able to hit the #1 bestseller status on Amazon last Thursday. So Legendary Business from Rats to Riches is an Amazon bestseller. And so you can go on Amazon and get it if you haven't gotten it already. There's a Kindle version. You do not need a Kindle to get it. You can actually read it for free on the Cloud Reader on Amazon, or I think you can download it to any other digital reader. There's also the print version that's available online. And if you already bought the book, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are amazing, and I would never have gotten to #1 without you. And I just sincerely appreciate your support and your love. And more importantly, I hope that this book is useful and helpful to you. The feedback that I've gotten has been overwhelmingly positive. People are saying, I see myself in this book. I see what I'm doing in my business and things that I can change. And that is my hope, and that's my dream, is that this book will help you and help you see what's going on in your business, give you ideas on how to change it. And if my ideas don't work, you can get your own, but at least see what's going on and know that you need to change it and move forward towards that. Another exciting thing is we are 98% ready with the workbook. This is the Legendary Business from Rats to Riches workbook. We are finalizing the print version and getting the online versions ready. So they will probably be ready next week. So if you already have Legendary Business from Rats to Riches and you are ready for the workbook, it will be ready soon. And we will be letting you know how you can get that. This will not be on Amazon right now. We're selling it through website. So I'll have all that information for you very soon. And then finally, next Wednesday, I'm so excited, is going to be my first guest Lunchtime Live. William Dickinson is going to be here. You may recall he had to reschedule. He had gotten sick and then had to shift around his schedule. So next week he's scheduled to be here. So it won't just be me. Yay! We'll have William here, and I'm very, very, very excited to have him here and share with you on Lunchtime Live. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed your lunch, and I will see you for sure next week.